It's time for Milberger's Gardening South Texas, live from Milberger's Landscaping and Nursery at 1604 in Bulverde Road. During the next 2 hours, our experts will help you with your gardening questions when you call 210-308-8867. That's 210-308-8867. Or come by Milberger's during the show and have your question answered in person. And now it's time for Milberger's Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer.
Good afternoon. Welcome back to another Saturday show. This is Milberger's Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. This is Alex Escobar here with Dr. Calvin Finch and Mark Peterson. Give us a call at 210-308-8867, 210-308-8867. A nice sunny day. It's always a nice day when it's nice and sunny.
As he sits with us,
with his hands in his pocket,
a little on the cool side,
shivering.
Yeah.
All right.
No, it's.
I gotta take my hat off so I can hear everything.
That's such a strange color. How come you couldn't get a real?
No, I couldn't get any kind of purple color or blue, silver and blue. This is my work hat. This is orange, so that the work crew can see me and hear my voice when I say, "No, not that one. Do the other one."
I'm sorry I broke in, Alex.
No, you're fine. I was just saying it's a sunny day. It's always a good day when it's sunny, but it is a little on the cool side. And we are expecting some freezing temperatures tonight. From what it looks like.
We're in the winter time finally now.
It's finally here.
We made a mistake by bringing that up the last weekend and saying, where's that cold weather? And
it's finally
here it comes.
Yep.
So now
here it comes. Be prepared. And we've talked about that for the last couple of months. Get your insulate. Get your old-fashioned Christmas tree lights if needed. I don't think we'll need it. I don't think it's going to last but 24 hours or so.
It said the forecast I saw said 4 to 6 hours, and then for a while it was showing 27, and then the latest I saw in the Express News was 30 degrees. So hopefully. Well, anyway, I moved my porterweed into my...
Yeah, all the tropicals and subtropicals should be, or must be protected.
And the whopper begonias that I've preserved and rerouted, I moved them into the house.
Uh-huh.
My wife, if she was still alive, would be in hysterics. But
I was just saying,
my dogs don't mind a bit when I bring those plants in the house like that. So
I probably should put my poinsettias. I have a few remaining poinsettias from Milberger's. I should probably put those in the house tonight. They're all covered.
Well, lots of action, of action right now with the cold weather, and then of course the beautiful annual flowers everywhere. Mm-hmm. And the shrubs and all the hollies are back, and anything of the trees. I guess none of the fruit trees have showed up yet.
I was going to ask Peter if I could find. I couldn't find them, but last week was it's going to be slightly delayed. I heard on another radio station, which shall be nameless. That David was going to talk about fruit trees. And then he goes, and you can purchase them after we talk. And I went, whoa.
Now,
that's not what I heard.
One of the things that is new, I just went and looked at the tomato plants in the greenhouse there. So some of we're waiting for the new rodeo tomato. And that'll be featured in my column next Saturday.
I've had several callers trying to find out when exactly they would be here, and I said, I don't know.
Yeah, and we'll take the time to, if you want more information about the rodeo tomato classes, they're They're on the 21st of February and the 28th over at Education Resource Center. But it's on the website, on the Millburgers website, the information, and then Alex and we'll give them the phone numbers so you can call and reserve a spot.
What is that website?
Yes, the website is millburgernursery.com. The website will be millburgernursery.com. And let me get the phone number real quick to call, to sign up. There we go.
As he's moving through his voluminous files.
For the class here at Millburgers, the number to call to sign up for the class is 210-497-3760, 210-497-3760. And for the class on the 28th, which will be at the Resource Center, I don't have the number in front of me, but Calvin.
210-382-4455. And we've got for the first 35 that sign up for both classes, we've got a potted up rodeo tomato for them. And the whole idea of potting up the tomatoes is it's going to be too cold to plant them, but you want to get access to the new rodeo tomato, and you want to have it get a fast start. So what you do is you pot it up in these 1-gallon containers and fertilize them. We use Osmocote, and then put them in the sun, out of the wind. And if the temperatures get below 45 degrees, you got to move them into shelter too. So that is something to be prepared for and the whole idea is, when you in the small towns, especially, the newspapers will always show the first tomato of the season, and quite often that's a tomato that's been potted up so that it could get a fast start. And here in San Antonio, we use determinate or semi-determinate because they need to get full size fast and concentrate on setting fruit to beat the summer heat, because we'll be pulling those things 1st of July or the end of June, and you should be harvested most of the fruit by then too. So it's quite a process, and the classes are interesting. The class will also talk about potatoes. And we've got the seed potatoes available here.
We have seed potatoes, and the staff was working on cleaning up some more onion bunches. So we have those.
Yeah, so both of those potatoes and the onions can be planted. You'd still plant I don't know if we have any transplants, Mark, of broccoli, but generally February 1 is kind of the last day.
The last day we do it. Last week we did. I did not look on the tables.
I know that we have spinach because I just bought a bunch, and we have some wonderful lettuce.
We have lettuce and we have kale, and usually on one of those rows stuck in between, we had some broccoli. So
what is sorrel?
Sorrel? Sorrel is actually an herb, and I was kind of going, why is it over here on this table?
It's a really attractive-looking plant.
Yeah.
Lush.
Yeah. So it has many, many uses, but maybe the listeners can help me out. But I think it was an English herb used for meats.
And another thing, it's not too late to plant. Now, we've been harvesting some of the English peas, and the sweet peas are about ready to bloom.
Yeah.
So, but there's still time to plant them before February 15th, and then of course carrots and radishes, turnips, beets.
You could still do a lot of the root vegetables. Yeah.
So
with the weather conditions.
So they're ready.
Oh, speaking of weather conditions, I believe there's a change coming this week.
A change.
Yeah, not necessarily the cold, but maybe something else.
Rain.
Rain. I don't know. I don't know
One
if Al
day.
can tell. Yeah, one day. It went from 3 days to 1 day.
Yeah. 160% day is surrounded by 220s. So.
Yeah.
From what I'm seeing, maybe Wednesday is the best chance.
Yes.
Right now, it's showing 20%. But
On Wednesday?
yeah.
Oh. Any other day?
From what I'm seeing, that's all.
Yeah,
Okay,
well,
so 3 days ago it was 70% on Tuesday, 60% on Wednesday, 40% on Thursday, and now it's not even.
60, 20, 20, 60, 20. At least the forecast I saw.
Oh well. We keep praying for rain, and we keep hoping, and we keep realizing we may be in another drought of record.
Yeah. Gosh, I hope not.
Yeah.
That's be wonderful to have. Go back to full rainfall.
Yeah, I was going to say nice
Well
April and May rains, and 1 or 2 during the summer, and a couple in the fall. Just nice. Just rain once a month. That's all I need.
Well, if you want to get kind of inspired, even though the weather is not the most exciting right now, but you take a look at those cyclamen over there and the pansies and the violas. Gosh, are they still on sale? The pansies and violas?
Yeah,
They should.
they should be four.
Five for
Yes, pansies are
Four
four
for
for $5.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, gosh, they look nice.
Yes, I bought a bunch last week, and they're all potted up. So
Lots
right
of
now.
colors.
Yeah.
Snapdragons too look good. I don't know if they're on sale still.
Not that I see. We do have some interior plants on sale for 15% off. Some examples: monsteras, bromeliads, ferns.
Can you turn me up a bit? I can't on the hearing. How about you, Mark? Can you?
Yeah,
hear?
well, I was
How was
a
that?
little bit better. You're a little bit better now.
A little better? Okay.
Yeah.
But yes,
Remember, we had Milton before.
Gotcha.
So you have to turn up the volume just a tad.
of course. But yes, and some interior plants we have for sale includes monsteras, bromeliads, ferns, many more on sale, 15% off. And the same as
What
last
was it? Monstera? Or Montabons? What was it?
monsteras. And we also have perennials on sale, some salvias, fall aster, and lantanas on sale for $6.88, regularly $9.99.
Plumbagos
No, I don't
here
think
in
them
front of us
Montegos.
that still have some blooms on them, and a few of the lantanas still have some blooms on them.
Yeah.
But I suspect they're on the sale too. Some of these perennials that may freeze back in the wintertime, but they'll come back.
Yeah, the purple trailing and the white trailing are still got a few blooms on them, and that's what I think of.
Yeah.
But I was going to say that's what I think of for winter color. But wasn't your article
12
on
months
some-
ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the article today in the Express News is 12 months of color. That's one of the neat things about gardening in the Central Texas, South Texas area. You can have 12 months of color. You have it right now. Our winter annuals are blooming up a storm, and then of course we have a whole set of summer annuals dominated by zinnias, but then we also have all kinds of other plants that we talk about in the article that have blooms. So you can have 12 months of color in San Antonio area, and you can really kind of specialize, if
Well, there you go. I like my narcissus, daffodils. And you mentioned the varieties in the article on that one. The easiest one for me to always remember is Trivantheon. Treventhian. So,
Yeah, what Mark's talking about is
or
that
jonquil.
there's lots of different daffodils, but the ones, if you want them to come back every year, there's 3 or 4 different selections that do best. What are they?
Well, the ones that you mentioned are the Trevanthian, Campanile, and Quail. And I also remember one called a jonquil.
Which one?
Jonquil. 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 Yeah.
Okay,
There's some out there that are really spectacular blooms. And
you know what else?
they come back every year. And we don't have definitive reports of deer, but they may do a little of the blossoms, but they won't eat the fronds or anything like that.
Now our paper whites are blooming
right now.
Half storm, and we always talk about the debate whether they have a fragrance. Now we don't know. Well, it depends on your opinion of whether the fragrance is good or bad. So, I generally like it when it's outside, but quite often we are introduced to the fragrance because folks get the winter forced paper white blooms for the Christmas time.
So they're very cute. They're like in a little rock setting on a little table, and they're forced and they're nice for a while. And,
don't throw them away.
No, they are a daffodil, just like we're talking about, and they will repeat.
Just
over and over again.
Find a place in the shade or the sun in a corner of the yard, and they'll come back every year too. So that's quite often when horticulturists do their 12 months of color articles in this area, we quite often mention
folks out there, a really good place to do these particular, and iris, we talk about our bearded iris as well, are deciduous trees. In and around those deciduous trees, because they get the they get the sun during the winter, and then they're shaded off during the summer months. And so, those are really very good locations for a planting bed.
Well, for the
daffodils,
not the iris. The iris need full sun. My favorite iris, of course, are the cemetery iris, or the always kind of. The blue flag, I always kind of include them with the white cemetery iris, but they're a great plant. The deer don't eat them, and they're almost invincible. Just so many people have gone back to visit relatives' gravestone, and there's the iris growing there that they remember from 25 years before, and that darn thing just keep growing. And as Mark said, the deer don't eat them generally. They make a nice ground cover too.
Technically you're supposed to separate them after about 3 or 4 years, but they do just fine. Making a ground cover.
And the neat thing, one of the neat things about the separating them is that you don't have to dig very deep holes, because the whole idea of a successful iris transplant is you want the top of the rhizome level with the ground. So they're very, very tolerant of their the soil situation. The only thing they don't tolerate is soggy soil generally, but they're a great plant, and an appropriate plant if you're doing the 12 months of color. If you want, that's a good. Well, it's generally those irises, cemetery iris and blue flags. February is their month.
Yeah.
But they'll follow those daffodils, so they're always that cool. And then of course you've got the winter annuals that are blooming up a storm, and you can't. It's hard to beat the winter annuals for fragrance. Stocks.
Stocks, and I wrote down my favorite, alyssum.
Yeah.
I really love alyssum.
And sweet peas, too.
Yes.
Yeah.
So when you had mentioned that earlier about the peas, and I was going, they really smell wonderfully.
Oh gosh, yeah, and they make a good cut flour, and the colors are intense, and this has been a good year for sweet peas, and they're right on the verge of. I don't think it's going to be cold enough that they're going to be
affected or
injured. Because they're notorious for being both intolerant of cold and intolerant of heat. So that's why we kind of sometimes spend several times replanting in the fall, so that we finally get a good growth. And we're right on schedule. Blooms in February is what we expect.
That sounds good. Well, we're right on schedule for a quick break, too. We'll be right back with Milberger's Gardening, South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. We'll see you then. Welcome back to Milberger's Gardening, South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. Give us a call at 210-308-8867, 210-308-8867. It's a cold one today, but also we have a red flag warning up until 8 p.m. tonight.
What's that mean? No burning outside?
No burning. It's very dry outside. I was going to ask, as it goes for, I guess, winter gardening or just gardening in general, when it comes to humidity, is it better to have high or low humidity when it comes to vegetables or for planting?
In the winter time?
In the winter.
High.
High?
Yeah.
High humidity.
In the summer, not so much. More, you have the greater availability of fungi and disease. These are just general rules, however. Higher humidity in the winter is, like I talked about last week, was the real damaging thing for plants is a dry, cold wind out of the northeast. So that will desiccate plants, particularly evergreen shrubs.
Gotcha.
If the soil is cold. Am I talking too loud?
Well, we're trying to
hit that magic spot.
Yeah.
No, I keep moving the microphone around, so that's a problem. Yeah.
Well, we got a lot more we can talk about on the 12 months of color, but we also last week, or it was the week before that, we were talking about the other wildlife. And as I was mentioning to you guys, that it's unbelievable how much wildlife action there is. I got a report last night that, in fact, I saw the car hit another deer in my neighborhood, and I didn't see the coyote yet show up or the vultures, but I knew they weren't far behind. But then the other thing I saw was a fox. Just
after you had said on the radio, I don't see any foxes.
Yeah, where are they? I haven't seen them.
So my suggestion is they are listening to the radio station.
And so, and I spent a little time, yesterday evening, kind of stuffing the drip lines that the coyotes had torn apart again, so that I could, until my irrigation contractor got there, so that they wouldn't waste the water. But I guess they're just really thirsty with the drought we're in. But, and as I keep mentioning, it's just hard for me to believe that they aren't just ornery and having a good time chewing up my irrigation systems.
Just spite.
But it isn't. But I'm not alone. They're raiding the irrigation systems of quite a few. Get a good, easy taste of water, and then the neighborhoods where there's deer and they're getting hit by cars, and so I got the ready supply of meat and then the water. And I keep getting reminded by the San Antonio water system that you have an unusual pattern of water use.
You signed up for that too, long time ago. They send you a little notice. They send it to me in the mail, but with all the new system,
email.
Yeah, and with the new system, you can get an email or text saying, "Oh my, you seem to have used a little bit more than usual this month."
Well, they don't directly say that all the time, but they do say it's an unusual pattern.
Yes.
And so it's almost like they're curious too. Wow, how in the world did this pattern come out? And I haven't told anybody that it's because of the coyotes are sharing my drip irrigation system with me. But that's an interesting situation there. So 12 months of color, and what we talked about, Mark, we've finished with the
we're talking
daffodils.
We're talking about February, and then in March, you are beginning to get a whole host of plants on that.
Our all-star pollinator plants, including pentas, can be replanted then, and zinnias, of course.
And then some of the perennials. And the wildflowers.
That's another,
the wildflowers are starting to come in March, and I like bee balm, and I like coreopsis, and I like painted, paintbrush.
Yeah.
Those are my favorites. The other ones are all beautiful as well, too.
Well, a number of gardeners have told me that the blue curl is already coming up.
Yeah.
In the landscapes.
Yeah.
And blue curl, if you don't have it, it's a wildflower that'll grow in either sun or shade, and the pollinators love it. It's an attractive plant, and I like it because it starts blooming really pretty early, and fills any gap missed from mistflower and zinnia, because it's a favorite, just like mistflower and zinnia is a favorite of the monarchs too. If the monarchs get there before those flowers are ready on the April migration visit, then if you got the blue curl, that'll fill the gap, and then of course the coreopsis follows up with it. But anyhow, if you got a neighbor that's got growing blue curl, quite often they'll have harvested some seed, and see if you can talk them into giving you just a little bundle of it,
or ask yourself and go in and get it. But I'll always ask first.
Yeah. The other thing, the only retailer now I think that has it is Native American Seed Company, but they'll ship it to you real quick. It's one that they feature, and it's a favorite. And the hummingbirds love it too. That's a good reason to use it.
Speaking of another one that they promote, and you had mentioned it in the article, is Salvia coccinea, scarlet sage, or tropical sage, sometimes known. That's a real good one for San Antonio because full sun and partial shade.
That's right.
It's real good, and even all season long.
It's got pretty flowers. It's a red flower too, and it doesn't start blooming too early in the spring. But gosh, once it starts in the early summer, it blooms all the way until the weather gets real cold.
Till November. I usually say, till middle of November.
And it's kind of the featured plant in the shade mixes. So that's a good place to get it. Or you can, quite often, even your favorite nursery may have packets of the plant too, because it is such a classic. And if not, you can get it at the Douglas King Seed Company or Wild Seed Farms or even Native American Seed Company.
So it's a good one. So then pretty much throughout the summer, but then the summer you and I like to favor our zinnias, and I like periwinkle, vinca, as well. Kind of the indestructible ones.
That's right, the vinca. There's a debate.
Moss rose too.
There's debate about whether the zinnias are deer-proof or not, but if they are, they're not in the same league as vinca. Vinca survives even when it's close to the deer paths, whereas zinnia, I guess, is pretty stiff, and if the deer walk around it, it gets crushed. But
having said that, and I'm pretty emphatic about the vinca being deer resistant, but I had a few people try to disagree with me on that. And,
really?
And they said, "Oh no, they go and eat mine," and I'm like, "Well, okay, all right, I'll accept that."
That's not. I've never had that experience.
Neither have I, but yes, well, in certain neighborhoods, I guess we'll have to flip it around. In certain neighborhoods, they will eat them. In drought resistant, that's the other reason. I've seen them growing up in cracks in sidewalks. Very drought resistant. In fact, don't water them, please. Kill them if you water them. Anyway, but those are the annuals I like in the summertime.
And then, of course, the subtropicals in the heat of the summer are Point Sienna and
Esperanza and Firebush. Is there any other ones? I always name it for, I guess Cenizo, I added Cenizo in that. Everyone should have a little grouping of those.
Yeah, Cenizo's unpredictable, but of course, that's half the fun on some of the. A lot of folks like to have some part of their blooms in the 12 months of color that they produce are short-term blooms. We mentioned the fall aster. In fact, fall aster's on sale here.
Yes, they are.
The fall aster's so neat because they can grow in a tough spot, the boulevard, and they form a mound, and the mound is kind of almost you don't notice it until in October, November when they start to bloom. They just get covered with those blue blooms, and another one that gets covered with pollinators. Now the deer do eat them, so you got to be a little careful. But they're quite showy. But there's a sister plant that kind of follows afterwards that smells like the help me on the golden.
The gold one is sorry about that. The gold one is Mexican mint, marigold, and Copper Canyon daisy.
Yeah,
and they're cousins. So
that's
why we include them together.
One of the reasons I like them, they're the same as the fall aster in terms of they being can grow in a tough spot, hot right by the roadside or in the boulevard. Other plants don't survive that. They survive. Very showy, and then they have a wonderful licorice smell, fragrance, and And the deer do not eat mint marigold. It fits Mark's formula for being deer-proof.
And I believe it's smell, texture, taste.
You made it so eloquent.
Yes.
I'm more like it's sticky, stinky, prickly, or thorny.
Well, I was just amazed because we talked about those characteristics with Milton for about 25 years, and he finally learned them. But Alex has learned them
learned them all in a week. Yeah, all right. And he gave him better names, more eloquent names.
More eloquent, yes.
We'll if we aggravate Milton, we'll find out if he's listening to the show or not, and he'll call us up and let us know.
Absolutely. He'll give us a call at 210-308-8867. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with Millburgers Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer.
I got it.
Welcome back to Millburgers Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. Alex Escobar here with Dr. Calvin Finch and Mark Peterson. We're at Millburgers, located off of Loop 1604 on Boulevardy Road. It's a nice, cool day, windy day. I know last week your article was about wildlife. I guess speaking of just, the coyotes and stuff in the area, are there any pests or insects that are a lot more active during the winter in people's gardens or yards that maybe we should be looking out for?
Not as many insects in the wintertime, but in this kind of a climate, if you are relieved of pressure from insects, it's quite often just a short time because they with the mild weather they recover. But I know a lot of folks, a lot of gardeners. One of the reasons that they don't like a hot winter season is that you get populations of pests survive, and they don't. There's not a decline. There's a real debate whether there's much action from those kind of controls. But there is some. It's a normal kind of a process to have populations, pest populations, insect population increase certain times of the year and then decrease. And of course, a lot of plants need the cool weather too. We haven't talked much about peaches and plums. I guess we did the last couple weeks.
We did a little bit ago, but we didn't really go into chilling hours and the requirements and why some varieties are better than others and all that kind of stuff. So we could talk about that. But I was going to say pests, spouses. That's the primary pest during the winter months is spouses.
Spouses?
Yeah. You held your visage very well there.
He does not.
Yeah. Milton learned not to do anything, so
Gotcha.
You're learning well too.
Yeah, obviously Mark does not have a spouse.
But I see the damage. I get reports, and I see the damage that spouses do. So, very, very persistent problem. Unlikely to go away for a while.
He knows that my wife Judy has passed away. Otherwise, he would not dare say anything like that. She would go after him more.
Like a South African lioness, I guess.
Well, the funniest on that kind of related issue was when Jerry Parsons and I cooperated on the newsletter that we did, the San Antonio Area Gardener, SAG. and Jerry. I don't know. You don't necessarily know Jerry, but Jerry is somewhat critical and cynical, and my mother used to
blunt.
yeah, and I used he write when he does articles. He's a good writer, but he, and if there's a rule about we got 2 pages available, Jerry, and so he'd always have 3 or 4.
Oh.
And so, one time he and I were having a little discussion about that because I had to edit, and everything. And my mother used to come and sit at the counter here, and then she was always very patient and everything. But this time she got impatient and chastised Jerry for putting me through that, and I never was able to get Jerry to shut up. But he didn't say anything for the rest of the show. When because it was amazed. She was about 5 foot tall.
Yeah.
And little and old. But
and sweet looking. Very sweet looking. And amazing. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, gosh, we did a lot of writing back then. Well, we do. I guess we do a lot of writing now, too. So, and of course, with the article we're talking about today is 12 Months of Color, and it's in the San Antonio Express News. If you want, then I believe it's in the Austin American Statesman as well. Now we also do question and answer articles that are in papers such as New Braunfels Herald Zeitung and
Wilson County
and Pleasanton and Seguin and Country World too is another one that's a cooperator and has used our articles for a long time. But if you're a lot of you out there, that might be interesting if you have get one of those newspapers and you have some comments on it. Be interesting if you want to give us a call. Let us know what if you have any issues or if you have some topics you'd like us to cover. Between Mark and I, we cover a lot of topics, and of course Mark is going to start doing his films again, aren't you? Soon?
Yeah. We're just next week, Friday. We're going to start filming. We're branching out. We're talking to some people who are YouTubers, and what's that? Not let's shoot to it. They have a program on the radio. What do you call that? I'm losing touch. I've lost touch. A lot of people would say. No. Recorded radio programs. Very popular. Joe Rogan. Podcast
There we
is
go.
the word I'm looking for. I knew it started with a P. Anyway, we're reaching out to those people. And sometimes they have some physical addresses where we can go and video and chat with them. So we're going to start doing that. So this Friday.
I like one of the things I like about your films. I guess that's an old-fashioned way to describe them, but I like it when you go to like the parks and things that we've lost, or the nature areas that we've kind of lost track of.
We're trying to think of some in the last couple of weeks going to, and a lot of the parks are a little dormant now. Our question was, they will air in February. What's going on in February? A lot of times we talk about pruning roses and perennials and things like that. So we're like thinking about public spaces. We're going to do one with Lee Lee Marlowe.
Oh,
one
gosh,
of my,
yeah,
one of my
she's always
good friends.
good.
Yeah, she's very good personality on the video. So we'll do that. Lee is the head naturalist for the San Antonio River Authority. So we're going to look for a spot.
They got a lot of territory.
They got a lot of territory, and so we can choose. And we'll try to be talking about some of the perennial activities you should be doing. And we normally say, given the weather, usually you should prune back the perennials last week in February, first week in March. And so this will be right on that topic.
And of course, we always encourage folks to wait as long as they can to prune anything back, because we're, in addition to be gardening advocates, we are also want to support the wildlife and especially the birds as much as we can. And the longer you can leave those freeze-killed or browned plant remnants, the more access the birds have to cover and remnant seeds and berries and insects. It's surprising how many insects are out there. One of my favorite birds that is a we were talking. You brought up, Alex, the other wildlife, the long-billed thrasher. They get real tame, and they're bold, and they're one of those birds that kicks up the leaves, and they've got their voice too is a real kind of you got to get kind of used to it. It's not a beautiful.
And what's this again? A
long-billed thrasher.
Okay.
Like a brown thrasher up in Michigan and Minnesota, but it's a different species. And then the curve-billed thrashers. There's a lot of them here too.
There you go. That's the one.
Yeah. And
I've heard that one before.
And they seek out insects, and if you do have suet in your bird feeding, they'll come in and take advantage of that too. But they're kind of fun to watch because the leaves go. You can tell when they're around. The leaves go flying every direction, and they're big enough and tough enough that they're pretty bold. Okay.
No. There's another one around the back.
I thought Mark was just reacting to my wonderful presentation there.
Giving the peace sign? No.
It was our usual
they're
assisting folks find the bathroom.
Yes, assisting a customer. So, yes, we do have bathrooms here at Millburgers. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah, you're talking about the Go Gardening videos. So just want to remind everybody, go to the gardeningvolunteers.org website. That's the website for the Gardening Volunteers of South Texas. And when you go to the home website, you'll see a little button that says Go Gardening Videos, and you can look at all the videos. We're starting our 5th season. I can't believe I've done it for 4 years now, or starting up on 5 years. So we should have lots of fun.
Well, now, and that's one of the organizations that if you want to get involved in some horticultural action, environmental action, without having to go through a formal training program, the Gardening Volunteers of South Texas is a neat organization. They're involved in a lot of projects, and you'll have you'll learn a lot, you have a lot of fun, and you'll do important work for the community.
Sounds awesome. Well, we got one more hour left in our show. Give us a call at 210-308-8867. We'll be right back with Millburgers Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer.
We're back with Millburgers Gardening South Texas, live from Millburgers Landscaping and Nursery at 1604 in Bulverde Road. Come out to visit or call us at 210-308-8867. That's 210-308-8867. And now back to Millburgers Gardening South Texas on 930 a.m. The Answer.
Welcome back to Millburgers Gardening South Texas on 930 a.m. The Answer. This is Alex Escobar with Dr. Calvin Finch and Mark Peterson. Millburgers, we're located off of Loop 1604 in Bulverde Road. Give us a call at 210-308-8867, 210-308-8867. A couple of reminders, some events coming up. In February 21st, we have the Rodeo Tomato class here at Millburgers. It's a free class hosted by Dr. Calvin.
Yes.
And the number to sign up for that class, it will be the Millburgers number, 210-497-3760. That is for the class on the 21st. There's another class on the 28th, the following week. And that one will be held at the Resource Center on the 28th. The number is 210-382-4455.
That's it.
That's right.
It's over there by Medical Center. And the class here at Millburgers on the 21st will be at 10:30 a.m. until 11:30. And then the class at the Education Resource Center starts at 10 until 11. Yeah, so that we can get back for the radio
Yeah, I was
show.
going to say that will allow Calvin to come on back. And we definitely want him here.
Yes.
So,
And if you, for the first 35 folks that register, you'll get a potted up rodeo tomato. And it's a competitive process to pick those rodeo tomatoes. And I think you're going to find this one really interesting. It's a determinate, so that it's one of those tomatoes that gets to full size fast and then concentrates on setting fruit, so that you'll be able to harvest a bunch of fruit before the hot summer shows up. And we won't tell the name yet.
I was just going to say, I'm not going to mention the name, but
David would. He
yeah,
won't talk to us if we do that.
Never again.
But we'll mention it next Saturday in my column. We'll talk about the rodeo tomato, and we're gonna. The whole idea is that you want to get it growing, but it's too cold to plant directly into the garden. So you accomplish that growing situation by potting it up. We put it in a 1-gallon container with lots of fertilizer and good soil, and then it is ready for action. Now,
what I was going to say is,
go ahead.
Without mentioning the name, how do they come up with that name? That's a long process too. Or do they just sit around, drink some coffee, and figure it out?
Well, it's usually it's the name that has been provided by the breeder.
Oh, okay.
So there'll be 7 or 8 different competitors, and then the one that works best in our situation with our weather will be the one selected. And then, but in the past, a few times, the folks that make the selection, it's mostly horticulturists from the Extension Service, Texas A&M, and they have tried to give it a more saleable name.
Saleable name, yeah. So like the BHN
968.
968.
Yeah,
well, then they try to do it.
It's not a very showy name.
No, it doesn't. So Super Sweet or Super Sweet 100 or something like that. So, yeah.
Red Snapper.
Yeah, well, I've never understood that one. I've never understood that.
That's one of my favorites.
Yeah, I know. It's his favorite. But
and, of course,
I had trouble with Valley Cat. Yeah.
Oh, gosh, yeah. That's another one I really like.
Now, no problem with Tycoon or Celebrity, but because I kind of grew up with those types of names.
Ruby Crush is one of the few cherry tomatoes that has been a rodeo tomato.
Oh, wow.
But they've traditionally been selected in that competition, and then the first place that they're available is at the rodeo. Now that's in the past. This no longer is the major initial sales area, the rodeo, but it's still going to be available when the rodeo starts. And in fact, we've got some tomatoes available here at Millburgers already. Some of those other
past winners, past rodeo winners are here in the greenhouses. So I had several listeners reach out to me and ask me when the rodeo tomatoes will become available, or will they become available before February 12th, which is the start of the rodeo. And listeners, I called David and sent him an email. I had no response. So I am trying out there. But we'll know. We'll know the name of it next week, and we'll know a little bit more about when they'll become available next week.
And, of course, if you register for class, attend the class, you will get at least one. I mean, you will get one free, and we'll talk about the tomatoes and the rodeo tomato and how to maximize that rush to get it producing. Now, the other things we talk about at the rodeo tomato classes are potatoes, and we talk about the Mark mentioned the onions.
Mm-hmm.
You know what else was the spinach? There's some neat spinach.
Well, and did you buy all of it? You said you were going to buy all of it.
I bought quite a few of them.
Oh, okay. Well,
but
I could see them from here. So we still have spinach available. See, Alex has a very distinctive leaf.
Onions.
I can get on that. So onions. So they have a wide variety. I went and checked right before we started on the show, and the staff was working on them, making the bundles presentable. Of course, our favorite, Red Creole, which has a more pungent taste, and then 1015Y. They have a star, a candy apple, and they have another name. Oh, and the yellow Granix, which is the yellow one. So we have white, yellow, and red.
And you don't be careful how many you buy now, because each of these bundles traditionally is enough onions for about 2.5 8-foot rolls. If you plant them every 4 inches.
Yeah.
So that means if you want to let some of them get full size, you have to use two out of every 3 for green onions. Mm-hmm. So you got plenty of onions. And I think they're about $3.29 or something per bundle.
Yeah, they reduced the price a little bit. It was $3.49, and now it's $3.29.
Is it?
I think so. Speaking of red, yellow, and white, potatoes, seed potatoes. So we have white Kennebec and yellow Yukon and red Creole. Red Pontiac.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So what was the Yukon was the yellow?
Yeah, yellow.
Yeah.
Kennebec is white.
I could always Kennebec and Pontiac are my favorite.
I know those are the ones. It's kind of the ones we grew up with, rather than the large Idaho type ones. But yeah, well, Yukon, I guess Yukon Gold was the one landed as well.
Potatoes are neat because there's so many ways you can plant them, and people do crazy things with them, and they seem to produce no matter what you do. But I use a kind of a conservative trench, and I try to have it 1 foot deep, and then you put in a part of the seed potato with at least one eye. I like to have the part at least egg size,
Right.
and then you plant them at least 18 inches or even 2 feet sometimes, and then you just cover them a little bit, and then as the plants the foliage emerges, you put more soil in there, and then you can mound it too. A lot of us mound up those plants, and you can start harvesting new potatoes when they start blooming.
But both these, the plants we talk about, the onions and the potatoes, they're real easy because they'll tell you when they're ready. So, it's just not hard.
And then in the old days, we used to say, well, you start harvesting when they start blooming, but you better finish the harvest when the plants turn brown, because you don't want the potatoes to sit in the ground when the soil's soggy. But of course, since it quit raining, we don't hardly ever see soggy soil anymore. But maybe it'll reoccur. Who knows?
Like I asked you in Spanish, what is this soggy soil? ¿Cómo se dice soggy soil? I've never heard of that before.
Soggy soil?
I mean, in Spanish. What is the Spanish word for soggy soil? I don't know.
That's a good question. Let's see.
I don't know what soggy soil is.
These seed potatoes, it's been in past years, it's been a little tough to find good seed potatoes, but they really look good.
Yeah, did you see them?
I didn't look this year, but last year they were outstanding.
Well, they're about the same as last year, so they all look good, nice, clean, without major spots.
Relatively inexpensive.
No. Who cares? It's gardening. Yes, relatively inexpensive.
I was just thinking of the onions and how competitive they are.
So yeah, on the potatoes, you talk about how to cut them up and everything. I always cut off the ends and split the remaining one and use that.
Really?
Yeah. But I usually get, but I'm looking for a potato about that size where I can go chop, 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 and then I get 4.
Do you let them harden off? Or?
Yeah, well, no, I used to, but I think you and I agree that it really didn't make it. Wait 24 to 48 hours, hardening off, and I even, that was even told to maybe dip them in or have a little sulfur powder, and for callousing.
I think some gardeners just think it's too easy.
Yeah,
you got to make it more complex than it needs to be.
Well,
but so that's what we're talking about: potatoes in the garden and onions. And it's still time to plant some broccoli if we can find some plants.
Some the coal crops, the broccoli, cauliflower. Not so much cauliflower, but Brussels sprouts, and then the leafy greens. So kale, spinach, lettuce.
What about some of the herbs? I saw some really
some
parsley out there.
We were talking about the staff is slowly bringing in some plants to protect them over tonight. And, so what you saw you were correct. That was a bunch of parsley. Rosemary. Yes, there was sage, rosemary, and there was thyme out there. So, but a wide variety of stuff. But there was one that caught my eye, and maybe it was because on the middle shelf that they were moving, it was all parsley. Parsley and dill.
Well, and
combination.
So attractive. Of course, I didn't normally in the summertime. If we had parsley and dill, or out there, we'd have black swallowtails, but they're not much interested in 32
not at this
degree.
time of year.
Yeah.
No.
But
and the population of butterflies flying through today is minimal, if not zero.
Oh yeah, now
Load the
that'll be
wind.
the kiss of death if you say that. No, well, every time we say, well, there's no monarch left, then there's one shows up.
In fact, some of my colleagues this past week said, "What's this?" And it was monarch chrysalis. Guess what? A tropical milkweed.
Ah.
I went, look at that. There's tropical milkweed, and there's a coreopsis in the background. So, yeah. It was still this. I knew it was a tropical milkweed because it looked like those out there that we have. And sure enough, there was a chrysalis.
Well, that reminds me of when we saw the. I've read. Well, a lot of butterfly experts say that they've never seen monarch butterflies lay their eggs on butterfly weed, which is a native attractive milkweed, but its chemistry is a little different than the ones that are usually used as breeding spots. But of course, here at Milberger's at the Certified Butterfly Garden,
Certified butter, yes.
There was a family of caterpillars, and Milton was able to get some photos of the caterpillars, so that was interesting. Okay.
Yeah, it's amazing. Every time we say something out there disproves the rule. I like that. Disproves the rule.
Well, that's half the fun of gardening, and especially in a challenging environment like Central and South of Texas, or a environment that's different every single year. So a lot of exciting things, and of course, lots of birds and butterflies and other wildlife to go along with our gardens.
Just on that note, speaking of suet, I think we had some suet here at Milberger's, but I'd have to go check again. Yeah. So what to do in the garden right now for your birds? Well, you can spread seed and everything, but it's real important to put that suet out there.
Well, the neat thing about suet is then you get the insect eating birds, which are like that long-billed thrasher that I talked about, and orange-crowned warbler.
Yeah.
Not titmice, but just a number. More woodpeckers, all kinds of woodpeckers.
And you can make that suet. You can fill it with chili powder and everything. And Alex, you know why you can make the suet? With the fill with chili and things like that? It's because the birds have no lips. Everyone out there, say it with me, because the birds have no lips. So you can make it as strong as you want. That keeps the squirrels and the possums and whatever
raccoons
from eating it.
Oh wow!
See,
you're a new audience. We can do those things.
He thinks you're leading him on here, but the suet. Then there are other ways to discourage squirrels. Or you use safflower seed and
is it the black sapphire?
No. Yeah, what's a white safflower?
What's the one that's black that some of the birds or squirrels do not like? Is that a black sunflower?
Thistle. That's the
thistle. The birds love.
Yeah, the goldfinches love the thistle, and so that is a neat seed to use, and the safflower seed if you want to. The cardinals and the house finches really love it, so and most birds will eat it. But
that's a good one.
Yeah. Now the thing about sunflower seeds, if you have them, then it's hard to discourage the squirrels from eating them because that's their one of their favorite things too. That's why you would hesitate. Another way to do it, you just you put out your bird seed in the morning, and just enough that they can eat it in a few hours, and then you put it that way. You can live within your budget in terms of the birds and feeding the birds. But gosh, yeah, this is a great place to feed the birds. And some of those feeders, Alex, are they've got these mechanisms, steel feeders, and the mechanism that the part that they land on, the birds, if they're heavy, or like squirrels, they shut the feeder. If they're light and desired species, the feeder stays open, and they can get access to the sunflower seeds, and then so it kind of reduces the consumption of the seeds. It doesn't take long for a squirrel to eat a pound of sunflower seeds.
I could imagine, yes. Well, we're going to be right back with Milberger's Gardening, South Texas, at 9:30 a.m. The Answer. We'll see you in a couple minutes. Welcome back to Milberger's Gardening, South Texas, on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. Alex Escobar with Dr. Calvin Finch and Mark Peterson. Give us a call at 210-308-8867, 210-308-8867. Just a quick reminder of some things that are on sale here at Milberger's. We have pansies on sale for $5. We also have some interior plants, including some monsteras, bromeliads, ferns, and many more. They're on sale 15% off. We also have some drought-tolerant perennials. Examples are salvias, fall aster, and lantanas, on sale for $6.88.
We had a couple of weeks ago, we had mentioned the bright light Swiss chard over there.
Yeah.
The big, in the one.
Yeah, no, I think it's like
containers.
number 2 or something. Yeah, it's really big. Yeah.
They're very attractive, and plus, if you've never had that Swiss chard, the bright lights, it's very, very tasty green. And if kale is not your favorite thing, you can mix the Swiss chard with the kale, and that kind of makes it more palatable to me anyway.
Right. So, was it about 2 decades ago? Long time ago. Probably before you were born, Alex. So the standard planting, bed planting, was an ornamental kale. And what was the other one? Ornamental kale and something else. And I never could see why we would do these ornamental kales and everything. But sometimes they would substitute the Swiss chard. And I'm like, well, there's an idea. An ornamental plant in a formal bed in the wintertime, which you could actually eat. And I'm like, because I love chard, Swiss chard.
Yeah.
It's tasty and beautiful all at the same time.
Yeah. And it's one of the ideal plants for if you have a container. If you live in an apartment and you've got some sun, a few containers of bright lights along with some of the colorful lettuce are there. And the thing about those foliage plants, those greens, they keep. If you harvest a limited amount at a time, they keep producing. Spinach is the same way. You have enough plants that you can harvest some every week or so, or every 2 weeks, and then it just keeps producing new plants as long as you keep it fertilized,
right,
and watered well. So it's good.
It's good. 210-308-8867. We have James on the line. James, how are we doing today?
Okay, I'm running around insulating some pipes I should have done a month ago, but it is what it is.
What did we tell you? What did we tell you?
I don't know. What did you say?
I said, be prepared. It's coming.
Oh, I am. I'm getting prepared right now. I'm almost finished. No, actually, about a couple of weeks ago, I had to do minor repair out at my water well, and I had to tear away some pipe insulation, and I never put it back. So that's all I'm really doing today. Minor detail. Hey, I had a friend, speaking of Swiss chard, him and his dad always had a large garden out in the country, and they were always my source for okra grazing because they planted, oh my God, enough to feed South Texas, it seemed like. They always grew in the winter Swiss chard, and old Roger used to tell me, this old Swiss chard tastes nothing like Swiss cheese. That was his saying. I don't know where he got that from, but he would always say that. I don't know. Anyway, I digress. My dwarf cherry surprise, which is still producing well. So with the freeze tonight, I'm anticipating where I live, if they're right, maybe getting close to 25, 26. Hopefully not. Is it too late to water it deeply this afternoon?
Well, it won't really affect its cold tolerance.
It won't help it? Okay,
No.
It's not going to help it. Okay.
Well,
All right.
if you've been on a regular water program over the weeks ahead of time, that'll be a factor. But 25 degrees with a tomato plant is pretty tough.
Yeah, it's probably going to be a goner. The only thing is it's adjacent to, on two sides, a concrete patio and driveway, so maybe it'll retain some heat. But anyway, I'm going to pick a bunch today and just see what happens with the rest of it. It might be toast tomorrow. On the squirrels...
Weren't you a few weeks ago complaining about the overwhelming production of the tomatoes? And
the Meyer lemon is still growing strong.
Oh.
Yeah. Still got about a dozen on there. Should I? And I picked a bunch off 2 or 3 times and didn't get them all. Should I take the rest off today before it freezes? I am going to pull it into my workshop so it won't freeze per se. But should I take the rest of the off?
Well, I generally would be conservative on that. Would. But the fact that you're moving it into your workshop probably will protect them. It's the thing. It's not the fruit that is threatened, but a tree with fruit on it is more sensitive to the cold than a tree without fruit. But of course, the same day picking is usually not a factor.
Okay, yeah, I think you had said something like that before. I believe so. Hey, speaking of my workshop and squirrels and birdseed, after I figured out I was attracting skunks by leaving my seed out on the back patio, I moved the seed into the workshop. And over the summer, I leave the windows open and I have screens. And I noticed a hole when I was walking around back in the screen. And I came inside, and that dang squirrel came inside, I guess smelled my bag of sunflower seed, and I had sunflower seed all over the place, about 20 pounds worth.
Wow.
Those things, yeah, they're I guess they're hungry, very hungry, yeah. So he busted in and had a feast and left his trail. But on the foxes, I've been seeing for a few months now, these brown or gray foxes been coming up almost every evening. But one day this week, it wasn't dark yet. It was still light. Wasn't even sundown yet. Walked out the back door, and I saw a beautiful, big red fox. Hadn't seen before. It was real pretty. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
The same habitat, huh?
Yeah. Those are more rare.
You know, the thing that fascinates me, or the difference on the red versus the gray, is that the gray is such a tree climber. Yeah. The red, I don't, in Minnesota, I don't remember the red ever climbing any trees.
I think both of them can climb, but in my mind, it's always the gray fox that's a better tree climber. And they can climb.
Boy, I'll say.
Yeah, and I live in a wooded area, but I haven't seen them in the trees. Not saying they're not in there, but I haven't witnessed that. I'd like to see that one time.
Yeah. Well, we in my neighborhood, we had a period there where the gray fox was going up in a big live oak tree I had right in the front step, And it got so that the neighbors, 3 or 4 neighbors every evening would come and view him. It was like almost like the fox had an obligation. I thought maybe he was going to ask us to sign a contract or something to entertain us, but he was up there. And one time he was up there the same time the other part of the tree, a raccoon was up there. So it was really a staged performance.
Yeah. Hey, can I ask one more on the watering and the cold protection? Yesterday afternoon, I gave my Vitex, which has still got few green leaves on it, and my Esperanza still has leaves on it. So I watered them real deeply yesterday, both of them. Was that a good idea, or should I just cut them back now? I know the weather's been...
Well, I don't think that's. It's not a bad idea. It doesn't hurt anything.
Yeah, you're watering for overall general health because you hit the nail on the head. Well, I'm going to be cutting them back later on next month. So, should I have been watering them? It's overall general health. If you did it once a month, usually we like to say, in the absence of rain during the winter time, during the dormant season, like to do at least give them once a month watering.
Okay. I did the same thing with my hardy hibiscus a few days ago. And so I should wait about another month or so to cut those 3 back. The hibiscus, the Vitex, and the, what's the other one, the Esperanza?
Yeah, that's the recommendation. I know it's tough on some gardeners that if you're really a neatnik, you don't like to have those bare stems out there. But of course the birds appreciate it and wildlife appreciates it. At the longer you can leave those stems in place.
Gotcha. Okay, I appreciate it. I got to get back to tapping my pipe over here. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, get that. Fill that sunflower seed feeder for your squirrel there. That's got the hole in the screen.
Well, actually, on my bird feeder, I put one of those. I don't know what it's called. It's like a half dome or a dome. Yeah, half dome, like a baffle or screen that you hang above the feeder. Because before I put that on there, I was watching these squirrels go down the road, cleaning out the bird feeder and doing that. Those little contraptions work good. I don't know if y'all have seen them or not. They're like a dome, yeah. And it just goes right in line on the rope that you're hanging it from. Those work really good.
Cool.
All right. Thank you.
Sounds good, James.
Awesome. Thank you, James. Give us a call at 210-308-8867. We're going to take one last break. We'll be back with Millburgers Gardening, South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. Welcome back to Millburgers Gardening, South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. Alex Escobar with Dr. Calvin Finch and Mark Peterson. We're out here at Millburgers, located off of Loop 1604 and Bulverde Road. Give us a call at 210-308-8867. 210-308-8867. We've got about 15 more minutes on our Saturday show. Mark wanted to go back. You asked me earlier, how do you say soggy soil in Spanish?
Yeah. Did you look it up?
I did. According to Google, it is suelo empapado.
Suelo empapado?
Empapado.
Oh, empapado.
E-M-P-A-P-A-D-O.
Okay.
There you go.
So, yeah. But we haven't seen that.
We haven't.
We haven't seen
it's a rare
suelo empapado. Thank you.
No problem.
That's why you think of places where they grow potatoes. It's usually a sandy or gravelly situation. So, Maine, Michigan, Minnesota, Idaho. Because soil moisture was always a problem.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to get them too soggy. So here, not so much.
Not so much as of recent. So.
Well, historically, no, and then, but also recently. Now we've had those times where it's rained almost every day. I think of the wonderful time. What was it? In the late '80s, it rained from about June 1st to October 1st, just about every day. That or during the aughts, during 06, 07, maybe time again, it rained. I don't know. It's been so long since we've seen a rainy year. I can't even remember. Seriously, I can't even remember. I remember the 86 and 87 was kind of wet. Oh, I guess. Yeah. How could I forget? 1998 and 2002, the big floods. Those were the two big flood years. Downtown was flooded, or the east side. Medina Dam was going to break, all that kind of stuff. Houses floating down the Guadalupe River right in front of me. 2-story houses.
Wow.
I was standing on Common Street, and I'm like, well, you don't see that every day. There's a 2-story house just floating down right in front of the Comal County Fairgrounds. There we go. Yeah, let's bring up the wonderful past. 1998 and 2002.
It's just amazing how those old people they remember those things, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. He can't remember from one day to the next, but he can remember.
I can't remember what
2002,
I had for breakfast or lunch yesterday, but yeah. Yeah. Call up if you can remember those dates where we had rain.
Absolutely. 210-308-8867. 210-308-8867.
Let's remind everybody that if you want to participate in the rodeo tomato class, the first class is scheduled here at Millburgers on the 21st of February at 10:30 a.m. And you called. What's the phone number there, Alex?
Phone number to Millburgers is 210-497-3760. 210-497-3760. That's for the class on the 21st of February.
Now, you can attend even if you're not one of the first 35, but those first 35 will be, we'll have enough potted up rodeo tomatoes to give each one of them a free one. And, if you got some neighbors, you want to bring them along, or the kids, nothing better than to get the young people involved in the gardening. And it's especially fascinating to kids. We found, and I guess research backs us up too, Mark, that if the process is kind of fascinating, and just like these rodeo tomato process, where you have to put it in the container, and then you put it in the full sun out of the wind. And if it gets colder than 45 degrees, you got to get it inside until we get to about April 1st. Then we can plant it in the garden.
Yeah, it's always amazing to me that people forget, because we can plant tomatoes just about everywhere. But you always have to remember, these are subtropical plants. Tomatoes are subtropical plants, and they need to be protected early on until the weather gets warmer. And so, make sure that you protect them before or when the weather is cool and cold.
The second class is on February 28th, and that's at 10 a.m., and that's at the Education Resource Center at Dream Hill Estates. That's over by Medical Center. Now, if you want more information and to register for that class, you 210-382-4455. And again, first 35 folks that register will get a free potted up rodeo tomato. And of course, in addition to talking about growing tomatoes in our climate and beating the summer heat, we'll also talk about potatoes and the other vegetables that we can grow, the onions and sweet peas, English peas. I'm sorry, sweet peas and English peas are quite different, but both are wonderful to grow in this area.
Yeah, and we also talk about some of the edible pod ones, like the sugar snaps and the snow peas.
The kids love those too. Yeah, that. If you were looking for a plant that fascinates your grandchildren or your neighbor kids or your children, grow some of those peas. And which ones are? What are they called, Mara?
So sugar snap.
Sugar snap.
Now there's a couple different varieties, and then also snow peas.
Yeah, boy, they taste good too. I've been harvesting them and eat. Of course, I never get it into the house with them because I've always harvested them and eaten them on the way.
Yeah, but it makes it a whole lot easier to take that bowl or so that it's much lighter by the time you get to the house.
That's right. So those classes. Now, of course, won't be long, and we'll be talking about the butterfly, the monarch, and the milkweed classes too. They'll come up in March and April, and we have classes scheduled here at Millburgers and at the Education Resource Center, and in March, and then we also in April we have a class scheduled in the evening in Wilson County in Floresville. It's co-sponsored by the Wilson County Master Gardeners, and then of course a class that is folks have participated for several years is the class with the Comal County Master Gardeners and Master Naturalists. This year, I think the Master Naturalists are officially the sponsor, and that'll be in New Braunfels, and that'll be on May 2nd. So you got those that opportunity. I think if you want more information, they are on the Millburgers website, and then the not next Saturday, but the Saturday after that, the Express News article, and we'll start having the information and also numbers to call if you want to register. And there you will get some milkweed planted seeds, some germinated, and you'll also get some seeds that have been stratified and that are ready for you to plant in your garden. So it'll be something a little different. You get both a growing plant and a stratified seed so that you can take advantage. Our seed suppliers say, go ahead and try this because it'll increase the success.
Yeah, we could say, explain why we're trying both.
Well, because milkweeds are not easy to grow. They're, you get about 50% germination in the seed, but then you get about 10% success on transplanting. And so we're going to try to increase that success by allowing the people that attend the class to have some stratified seed. That means it'll be, go through the cooling process and the sterilization process, and then you can plant it in your garden, and so we don't have to transplant it.
Right.
Man, see if we can't double that success ratio for transplants.
Very exciting. Well, we have, I think, time for one more call, 210-308-8867. We have Bert on the line. Bert, how you doing?
I'm very good. Thank you.
No problem. What's going on?
What? Who's this? Is this Bert from Michigan?
This is Bert from Michigan.
Yeah, it's your long lost friend.
Yes,
Don't you know? I would have a question about the seed potatoes. In Texas, they seem to have a perfectly good potato, and they slice off little pieces with 1 or 2 eyes and plant those. Let them callus over, maybe. But in Holland, in the olden days, they would sift the potatoes by size, and the little tiny ones that are just about an inch or a little smaller or a little bigger, and those are the plant potatoes. So I thought, why is it different?
Well, it's as my grandmother would say. She had other names for me, but you know, it's. I think it's the American perception of production. So I have one medium-sized potato with multiple eyes. Well, I'm going to cut that up and make more seed potatoes on that. Where in the Dutch conservative, being as efficient as possible, well, if it's a little one, that's the one I'm going to use for my seed potato. You know, it's not really important for food production. I'll just use that for my seed potato. So I think it's a matter of perspective, but that's just my belief on that.
So it wouldn't make any difference in performance.
No, the idea is enough potato with an eye. So you just don't want the eye. You want a little food reserve on that.
Yeah,
and like Calvin and I were mentioning, we kind of grew up with you're supposed to callus them over, but I don't think it actually made a difference in the long run.
Yeah, callus them over. That might prevent some mold or something to occur.
Right.
Not quite sure.
Right, that was the concept on that. But like Calvin said earlier, it's like it's just too easy. You know, gardeners have to think, you have to do something else. And like I mentioned, vaguely in the back of my mind, I keep thinking that I think we put a little dusting of sulfur on them to prevent any kind of fungus or mold. I don't know, before the callusing or as it's callusing. I can't remember. But I don't think we do that anymore. Do you remember that, Bert? Do you remember the old way on that?
Well, just the little plant potatoes that my father sifted out with they have sifters. You put the potatoes on them and they shake, and then the smaller ones fall down and fall down again.
Right. I did. I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, and as a child, I had to peel the potatoes, so I didn't want to do the little tiny ones.
I remember that too. Yeah.
So it doesn't make any difference. It's all work.
No, I don't think so. I haven't heard anything, but that was the old way of doing it all.
Okay. Well, thank you, Mark.
You're very welcome.
Good to hear from you.
Well, it's good to hear from you.
How's your weather, Bert?
Oh, it's about, I think now 28 or 26 and the wind.
Oh, a warming trend. Okay.
Yeah, and some snow. And for James, the caller before me, or somewhat, he could just cover his PHN 968. It's a very surprise with a sheet or something. Keep the wind off.
Keep it going,
Yeah, maybe it helps, maybe it doesn't, but then at least you have tried.
Alrighty. Appreciate you, Bert. We're going to be ending the show right now. Appreciate you for calling. Thank you, everyone, for listening to Milberger's Gardening South Texas at 9:30 a.m. The Answer.